Rapunzel. Once upon a time, there was a poor farmer and his wife who lived in a small village. They didn't have any children, but they were kind and loved each other very much. Behind their house, there was a large garden full of beautiful flowers, fruits, and green plants. But this garden did not belong to them. It belonged to an old witch who lived in a tall, dark cottage. The villagers were afraid of her, and they never went near the garden. One day, the farmer's wife became very sick. She looked out of the window and saw some fresh green leaves in the garden. "Oh," she said, "I really want to eat that plant. I think it will make me feel better." Her husband didn't want to go into the garden, but he loved his wife, so he said, "I will bring you some." That night, he quietly climbed the garden wall and picked a handful of the green leaves. But the witch saw him. She appeared like a shadow and shouted, "How dare you come into my garden and steal from me?" The farmer was very scared. He fell to his knees and said, "Please forgive me. My wife is sick, and she wanted to eat these leaves." The witch looked at him with cold eyes. "I will let you go," she said slowly, "but when your baby is born, you must give the child to me." The man was full of fear, but he agreed. He went back home and did not tell his wife about the promise. Months passed, and soon the baby girl was born. She had golden hair and bright green eyes. The very night she was born, the witch came to the house and took the baby away. She named the girl Rapunzel and raised her far away in the forest. When Rapunzel turned 12, the witch locked her in a tall tower with no stairs and no door. The only way to enter was through a small window at the top. Rapunzel's hair grew very long and strong. When the witch wanted to visit, she stood below and called, "Rapunzel, Rapunzel, let down your hair." Then Rapunzel let her long hair fall down, and the witch climbed up. Years passed, and Rapunzel stayed in the tower alone. She looked out of the window every day and dreamed of the world outside. She sang beautiful songs that floated through the air. Birds came to listen. Trees danced in the wind, and small animals sat near the tower to hear her voice. But Rapunzel felt very lonely. She wanted to walk on the ground, feel the sun, and touch the grass. She wanted to be free. One day, a young prince was riding through the forest. He was far from his castle, looking for something new. He heard a beautiful voice. He followed the sound and saw the tall tower. He watched from behind the trees and saw the witch arrive. She shouted, "Rapunzel, Rapunzel, let down your hair," and climbed up. The prince came back the next day. When the witch was gone, he went to the tower and called, "Rapunzel, Rapunzel, let down your hair." Rapunzel thought the voice sounded different, but she let her hair fall. When the prince climbed in through the window, Rapunzel was afraid. She had never seen a young man before. But the prince smiled gently and said, "Don't be afraid. I heard your singing, and I had to meet you. You sing like the sky itself." Rapunzel listened to his stories about the outside world, rivers, forests, castles, people, and parties. Her eyes were wide with wonder. She said, "I want to see the world too, but I am afraid. The witch says the world is full of danger." The prince said, "It is big, yes. But you are brave and you don't belong in a prison. You belong under the sky." They made a plan. Every night, the prince came to visit. He brought rope little by little and taught her how to use it. He also brought her books, food, and a small mirror. Rapunzel began to feel hope in her heart. But one day, Rapunzel looked at the witch and said, "Why is it that you are so much heavier than the prince?" The witch's eyes turned red. "You have betrayed me," she screamed. She grabbed a pair of scissors and cut off Rapunzel's long hair. Then she took her deep into the forest and left her in the wild. That night, the witch waited in the tower. When the prince came and called, she let down Rapunzel's cut hair. The prince climbed up and saw the witch. She laughed and pushed him out of the tower. He fell into the bushes and hurt his eyes. He could no longer see. Blind and heartbroken, the prince walked through the forest, calling for Rapunzel. He didn't eat much. He slept under the trees. He listened for her voice every day. His love was strong. Meanwhile, Rapunzel survived in the forest. She built a small shelter, and learned to find food. She helped animals. She sang every day, even when her heart was heavy. She had grown stronger. She was no longer afraid. One evening, she sang a soft song, and far away, the prince heard her. He followed the sound, step by step, until he found her. "Rapunzel," he whispered. She ran to him and cried. Her tears fell on his eyes, and suddenly, he could see again. They held each other for a long time. "I am not a weak girl in a tower anymore," Rapunzel said. "I found my strength in the forest." The prince smiled. "And I found you." They returned to his kingdom and lived together. Rapunzel became a wise and kind queen. She opened schools for girls and told them, "You are strong. You are smart. You are free." She never forgot the tower, but she also never forgot her courage. Her story was told again and again, not just as a tale of beauty, but a tale of bravery, freedom, and hope. The end.